Here's your wrestling news for November 5th, 2023, and we're kicking off today with NXT Vengeance Day, as the recent event saw Dijak in action, and he certainly fared a lot better than the position he was in just a year ago. The big man floundered on WWE Raw as part of Retribution until Triple H became WWE's head booker. The game sent T-Bar back to NXT, where he got repackaged. In the opener of NXT Vengeance Day, Wesley put his North American title on the line, and the two gave their all, with Dijak hoping to win his first singles title in WWE. In fact, Dijak may have given a little too much, as during the match, the man broke his finger, and the graphic image made its way to social media. Despite the injury, Dijak continued to wrestle, but it was Lee who would retain, taking advantage of a distraction at ringside from Tony D'Angelo and chanting Stax Lorenzo. On Twitter, Dijak shared a photo of his gruesome injury and earned a response from Bray Wyatt, who showed off a picture of his own broken finger. We can't say for certain when Wyatt's finger injury happened, but as one commenter responded, they've seen far too many broken fingers for one day. We can only imagine how painful it must have been for Dijak to suffer this injury mid-match, and it goes to show the toughness of Dijak to continue after suffering this broken finger. In less than 2 weeks, WWE will host its annual Elimination Chamber event, which will see the chamber reach Canada for the first time ever. WWE Elimination Chamber 2023 will be WWE's first premium live event in Montreal since Breaking Point in 2009, and that could mean bad news for the Bloodline. The USOS, or at least Jimmy, are unlikely to appear in Montreal given their history with DUIs, and with Jimmy still having charges pending, he won't be allowed in Canada until something is worked out. This isn't the first time that these legal troubles have caused problems, as for Roman Reigns' war in Cardiff against Drew McIntyre, there was no sighting of either Jimmy or Jay. Canada takes matters like DUI cases very seriously, and for WWE's most recent Canadian event, SummerSlam 2019, the USOS were nowhere to be seen. While Jay is out of the Bloodline, Jimmy not appearing at Elimination Chamber will be a distinct advantage for Sami Zayn, as the former honorary Us tries to do what no one else has accomplished and dethrone Roman Reigns. For over 2 years, the Bloodline have been a dominant force in WWE and have been one of the best merchandise sellers over that time. This week, WWE dropped some new merchandise for Roman Reigns, but in an interesting move, most of the Bloodline is nowhere to be seen. Instead, the shirt features just Reigns and Paul Heyman, and with Jey Uso's exit from the group, are we experiencing the final days of the Bloodline? The NYE Wrestling family has provided several major names in wrestling, including Yokozuna, The Rock, and our tribal chief Roman Reigns. In 2009, Eddie Fatu, aka Umaga, sadly passed, but now his son Zilla is hoping to enter the family business despite some trouble with the law. After spending 6 years in the Texas State Penitentiary for aggravated robbery, Zilla was released in March 2022, and in an interview with Muscle Man Malcolm, expressed his interest in entering the ring. To be honest, when I was in prison, I didn't really have it on my mind, but when I came home and saw that my family was on top of the business, I'm thinking, why not? I don't know if you know or if anybody else knows, but my dad didn't want none of us to do wrestling, like, at all, so that was kinda hard going against what my dad's wishes were. Zilla mentioned that he is working to get off parole faster so he could dedicate more time to wrestling, and is trying to avoid making the same mistakes of his past. Really, just to get off parole faster. I don't know if you know or if anybody else knows, I'm on parole right now, so that's a big thing because I heard we could get off parole faster. That's what I'm working on right now. There's a whole bunch of paperwork, it's a big process I have to go through, and obviously, I got to stay out of trouble and show them that I'm involved with the community. Yeah, just try to stay positive and not try to go down the bad route. Zilla also said he's picked Booker T's Reality of Wrestling School to start his training, as Booker is a friend of the family and the Hall of Famer, who spent time behind bars himself, advised Zilla to focus on getting off parole first. Zilla Fatu has done bad but has also paid his debt to society, and while he can't leave Texas due to the terms of his parole, the young prospect is hoping to follow in his father's footsteps when the time is right. At the Royal Rumble, WWE hosted their first Mountain Dew-sponsored Pitch Black match, which has divided fans. While some people appreciate something so different, others saw this match as a mere cash grab, and we now know just how much WWE made. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer revealed that WWE made a killing with the match, saying, "Well, you know, the thing is, that Mountain Dew one, that was $1 million deal. That's significant money if you could get deals like that. It was a really crappy match though, and they kept it short. I guess Pepsi has to decide whether it's worth to spend $1 million to sponsor a crappy match. Maybe it is, I don't know. On a pay-per-view that was seen by 2 million people?" The pitch black match lasted 5 minutes 5 seconds, meaning WWE earned $3,278 per second of the match, and with plans for another sponsored match at WrestleMania 39, as we previously reported, the company has a lucrative new way of earning money. As head of NXT, it's up to Shawn Michaels to find the very best talent for his brand, a task he shares with WWE's head of talent relations and his best friend, Triple H. Now, WWE has made a major change to its policy when it comes to letting their own talent work elsewhere, which could have huge ramifications. Recently, Brian Alvarez reported that WWE has allowed NXT talent to work select independent promotions, with NXT's Ivy Nile kicking things off in regards to the new partnership next week. The Diamond Mine member will debut for Booker T's Reality of Wrestling this coming Saturday in Texas, but there's also been a clarification on WWE's agreement. While the original report implied that NXT talent would now be able to work with multiple independent promotions, a tweet from Reality of Wrestling's official Twitter has clarified the new partnership is exclusive to Booker's promotion. Booker himself has commented on the partnership, saying he's excited to merge his NXT favorites with the ROW roster, so the next time you attend a Reality of Wrestling show, there may be some serious star power on the card. Over to AEW, as Jon Moxley is no stranger to violence in the promotion and has been one of the most lethal wrestlers long before he signed a deal with Tony Khan. Speaking on the Justin Kinner show this week, Moxley was asked about his career and why he chooses not to take a break, and spoke about loving what he does in the ring. "If I were smart, I'd try to get the most amount of money for the least amount of work possible, but believe it or not, in professional wrestling, I used to do it on purpose and for free, and still do because I enjoy it. It's recreation for me as much as anything else. What are you gonna do with your time? It's the coolest job in the world. Some people like to go golfing, I like to step into a cage and attack people with weapons and stab people with sharp things. There is really no other level of adrenaline you can reach at a certain point when you've been doing this as long as I have. I need it for my soul to get out there and get loose and get a good sweat on. Get a little blood coming from my eyebrow. It's relaxing to me. I enjoy pro wrestling." Moxley was due to take a much-earned break after All Out, but CM Punk's suspension resulted in John stepping up and returning, and with his feud with Adam Page expected to go all the way to Revolution, it'll be quite some time before Moxley takes a vacation. It's been 2 months since Matt Riddle last appeared on WWE TV after being taken out of action with an attack by Solo Sikoa. In real life, Riddle was taken off TV after failing WWE's wellness policy, and accusations of cheating with multiple adult film actresses have kept his name in the headlines despite his hiatus. Now Riddle is set to make his return very soon, as according to PW Insider, the original Bro is being advertised for the February 13th edition of Raw. That show will take place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, which has played host to many major WWE moments and could soon be the home of Riddle's return. As always, the card is subject to change, but after 2 months away, Riddle's return could be a matter of days away. Though WWE initially planned on Sami Zayn's Bloodline storyline being a comedy angle lasting mere weeks, Zayn's performance with the group led to much more for him. At the Royal Rumble, Sami's time with the Bloodline ended in the closing moments of the show, which has been praised as some of the best storytelling in wrestling fans have seen in years. In fact, Michael Cole is of the opinion that the storyline with the Bloodline, Sami, and Kevin Owens is award-worthy, as he explained on the Pat McAfee show. This Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Bloodline, Sami Zayn storyline is probably the best television we've done in a decade, and it's Emmy-worthy in many ways. WWE has tried to get an Emmy award for years, but with no such luck. And do you think this storyline is worthy of an award? Let us know in the comments. And we're ending with WWE, and for decades, Vince McMahon refused to let WWE work with other promotions, but that has changed over the past year. With Impact's Mickie James being in the 2022 Women's Rumble match to Carl Anderson competing at Wrestle Kingdom last month, WWE seems much more open to crossover than ever before, but could AEW be next? Tony Khan certainly hopes so, as when speaking with Mark Marone, the AEW president was asked about a potential partnership with WWE. Who knows? It's something I would certainly be open to, and I think it's an interesting thing for the future. It's not something that's ever really been done. They've kind of existed in their own space. We are working with a lot of wrestling promotions, and at times they've done stuff like that, but it would be a really interesting thing to see at some point. I think it's like a Marvel in DC. You don't see those superheroes really crossing over very much. I think there'd be a lot of jostling for who's going to be positioned stronger. It would get very political. While AEW stars appeared via video to celebrate John Cena's 20th anniversary in WWE, plans for Billy Gunn to appear at DX's 25-year reunion fell through. And what dream matches would you like to see?